Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulties here in the McNall household. Internet was a little bit slow tonight, so I'm just getting on, and then we had a barking dog next door that we could hear. So I think it's calmed down. It's dark outside, so maybe that dog's gone to bed. Anyway, I am going to be working with 3 different stamp sets. And then first I'm going to tell you about the giveaway. But anyway, there's so much going on in the Stampin' Up! World this week. So we had free shipping, which I thank my customers for their orders. I really appreciate that. And we have a birthday book, which I just got today. I'm not going to open it tonight, but I'm sure I'll do something with that. I'm definitely going to order or have a class with that for sure. It's like a perpetual birthday calendar type of thing. So birthday book. I've got a new host code for you guys for the month of October. Can't believe it's already October. And it's C4FJXMAB. I think you can really see that tonight. So you'll get or receive a free card class with a $35 minimum order. And if you bump it up to $50, then you will get the card kits plus a full pack of the brushed metallic adhesive back dots. That's a lot to to say there, but that will be a full packet at $50. And then if you bump your order up to $75 or above, I will send you a pack of at least 48 sheets of 6x6 designer series paper that's retired. So I've got a lot to share. There's a mix and match of all different kinds of patterns. So I'm sure you would be happy with that. So that is my host code for the month of October. Again, it's C4FJXMAB. And there's a breakdown of 35, 50, and 75. If you're on my email list, you would have received an email about that. If you're not, make sure you do go to inspiredbygraham.com and fill out the pop-up little window thing that appears like after 2 seconds you're on my site. And you fill that out, and that syncs with my constant contact email software, and then you'll be added to my email list. So I probably send about 2 or 3 emails a week, depending on what's going on. With the free shipping, I definitely did at least 3 because I wanted to make sure my customers were well aware of the free shipping. So I just got my order. I shipped it today, UPS. And what they do with a 2-day order or overnight is that you don't pay the normal shipping, like the UPS normal shipping. They're just going to charge you the $20 or $30 extra that normally I would pay anyway. So I figured I wanted all the products so I could start designing my card club for October. But anyway, that is my, let me show you I'd be nice if I could show you guys the kits. Here are the 3 cards that I'm offering with the host code here. This one is a heartfelt thank you. And they're just kind of inside. You can use whatever sentiment stamp set that you have. You'll receive all the pieces. The ribbon that I'm using, here's those brushed metallic adhesive back dots that you receive. If your order's not $50, I'll just send you what you need for each of the card kits. Here's that gray granite ribbon. I just love that. And then here's, we've got Evening Evergreen with some soft seafoam here. And I'm using the vellum circle, which I'm going to be using on one of the cards today. And there's a sentiment label there and just a piece of designer series paper on the inside. And then this one is a book fold card. So what I mean by that is it kind of opens like this, like a book, and very simple, easy to put together. You'll receive the designer series paper cut. Probably I will cut it to what it should be, but I'm not quite sure yet. This die cut will definitely be die cut, and same with this one too. I may, if I even have time, tie your bows for you. I'm not sure, but we'll see where that gets me. So you will receive 3 card kits plus all the things that go with it. So that is my host code for the month. I'll get that up on my website pretty soon. I have not even updated my website. I'm right in the middle of sending out the Wonderful World free class that I offered in September. So I have 12 of those to go, and I thank my downline Debbie for coming over to my house to help me out with that yesterday. It's going to ship tomorrow. So if you are in the group of 12, you will receive your tracking number sometime before midnight tonight. You should have already received my email. Okay, so I had a drawing. Next up is the drawing. Let me get my names here. Let's see. Hold on just a second. I'm going to actually just say the names. So what it was, I wasn't able to go on YouTube last week. So instead I did a post. And a post is just kind of like post, and it gave you some information. So what I did was I posted 4 pictures from my hike on the Vermont Long Trail, and one of them included my backpack. And the question was, how much did my backpack weigh? Pretty much on average. And you had to come to the closest whole number. So no like 20.2 or something like that. So the guesses were, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people guess, and I'll let you know what they guessed. So Deborah K guessed 23 pounds, Ann B 34, Cheryl M 25, and Judy T 18, and Deb S 38. So the closest person that came to the weight of, drum roll please, 35 pounds was Ann Belanger. So Ann, I am going to be sending you the Graceful Tiles stamp set. This one may be overlooked in the catalog. It's in the annual, and it's a photopolymer stamp set. So I hope you like that. I will need your address. So I will message you, or if you're watching tonight, you can message me by email, inspiredbygraham@gmail.com. So congratulations, Ann, and thank you for those that put in your guess. My highest, here, I had it right here. My highest weight was about 38 pounds when I was at my sister's, because she had a scale, and I had to drop it down to 37 because 38 is so super heavy for me anyway. Okay, so that's enough about my hike. Okay, so here's the, I'm going to work with Celebrate Sunflowers first, because I just love this stamp set. It is one of my favorites. It's a carryover. So you can no longer purchase it at the bundled price, but you can purchase it individually. So let me grab my catalog, and I will show you what page it is on in the catalog. I turned right to it. So it is on page 35, and it's up here. And we made this card in my in-person card class with Parks and Recreation. And I asked them to not make, or try not to make, your traditional sunflower with yellows and oranges. So I wanted them to think outside of the box. I brought my Stampin' blends, and they could choose whatever colors and they so desired. So, and they could have used any of the sentiments on the from the stamp set. So the Celebrate Sunflowers is $24, and it's a cling stamp set. And then it pairs up with, in the back here, in the dies, right here, Celebrate, or the Sunflowers dies. And those are $33. So you can die cut the sunflower if you wish, and the leaves here, and there's some like wheat grain, I would call that wheat. So I am not using the dies tonight. I'm just going to be using the stamp set. So here are the dies, so you can kind of get a better look at them. So you can see the very detailed one here. And then this is the stamped image die cut out. And then here's another sunflower, a smaller one that you can stamp. And then here's I call it the wheat. Here's some foliage, and here's some over here. That's the center of the sunflower. And then here are all the sentiments that come with the stamp set. So really nice. I've had this for a long time, and I always bring it out this time of year because we all think about sunflowers. So let's get started with this one. Let's see who's on here. All right, it looks like we got Carla, Louie, and Louise. Nice to see you guys. Okay, so I'm going to mount this stamp here, the large sunflower, on my E block, and it barely fits. And then I want to make a thanks card. So thanks a bunch. And then I'm using the H block on this one. I guess I could actually, let me see. I'm going to use the D block actually. I'll have more control with my stupid hand here that's like numb right now. Okay, so the kit. Okay, I'm going to show you the one that I had for a sample. Here's the one I brought, and this is colored in, let me think what I colored it in. It was, I'm pretty sure it was Poppy Parade, I'm pretty sure. I know this one, that is Highland Heather, and that is really pretty. I added the Winkostella so it does sparkle. In the middle is some kind of green. I think it was like the light old olive. And this is crumb cake here. So I don't know what color. Oh, actually, I'm going to color Bermuda Bay tonight. Debbie, she colored with Bermuda Bay at the class, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm going to give it a try as well. So there's not many pieces to the card kit itself. And where did the card base go? Hold on just a second. I'm already losing things. I think I actually used it for something else, but I got one right here. So I'm using thick basic white. So it's 4 1/4 by 11, and I've scored it at 5 1/2. So I'm just gonna score this with my bone folder here. And I just go back a couple times. Sometimes I will turn it over too, especially on the thick. All right, so that's pretty simple. And then I've got a piece of basic white, and let me just turn it this way so you can write down the sizes if you want. It's 4 1/4 by 3, and I embossed it with the Painted Textures embossing folder. It's a 3D embossing folder. I call it a 3D, and it looks like this. This kind of reminds me of course, paint on a mat, but it also reminds me of ice cream. So I don't know if that reminds you of ice cream or not, but I think it reminds me of ice cream. And then the piece that we're going to stamp on is basic white, and it's 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. So it's a square, and I felt that's the easiest. So what I did was I took my ruler. Basically what I did was I took my ruler to see how wide this sunflower is, and it's about the widest point 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/16. So I rounded it up to 3 1/2 because that's easier to cut. But when you stamp this, you have to be kind of careful because you don't have a lot of room to work with. So what you could do, I used to do this a long time ago. I don't know why I don't think about it. If you want to keep your paper still on your mat, just add a little bit of adhesive there and line it up. That way this is going to stay still. And I'm going to just remount this one here because it was just off the edge a little bit. Okay, I think that will work. Now we're going to be using Stampin' Blend, so the ink color I need is Memento Black. And the blends are alcohol based, so that's why you need to use the Memento Black. So I'm taking the ink pad to this stamp because it's easier for me, especially when a stamp is this large. So I'm just kind of patting it all the way around. I want to make sure that it's really inked up all the way. And then we're just going to, this is going to be hard because I need to see I'm going to guess that that's in the middle. And since there's so much detail on this stamp, I just like to put my hands like this and give it like 5 seconds or so. That way I know it's going to have all that detail. And you're going to have to move your fingers around as well because it's a large stamp. Okay, that looks really good. Okay, so then what I did was, because now I don't need it stuck, I'm going to just color. So let me grab some. You definitely, of course, want your scrap paper underneath. I'll do this. This is not going to be perfect, you guys, but I'll try to get through this step without boring you guys too much. Okay, so Bermuda Bay. I like to start with dark and then go light and then go back to dark. And with this sunflower, I kind of start on the inside here. I know I want it really, let me see if I can show you. On the Highland Heather one, I had it a little bit more dark here and going a little bit lighter on the outside. So I will make that, the second round of the Bermuda Bay will get me that look. So when I'm blending, I just, the darker color is the one that's going on all of the, well, most of the little, the dark, sorry, I'm thinking too hard. The dark images that make the sunflower, the petals here, the lines. That's what I want, the lines. I worked all day today. Can you kind of tell? All right, so we are just gonna color this. If you're working along with me, that's great. I would love to see what you guys make. So grab your stamp set, Celebrate Sunflowers, and you can create with me. Again, this is 3.5 by 3.5, and it is just basic white. All right, and then just go here. I can't remember all the colors that people used, but I had only one person, if she's watching, this is a different Deb. I think we had 3 Debbies or Deborahs at my in-person class last week. That's a lot of D's. Usually it's L's. Lana, Linda, and Lois. They're all sisters and they come. I only had 2 of the 3 L's at the class. But it's kind of funny how a lot of the names are the same that come to my class. And then Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, say some prayers for me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to be teaching a kids class. So I'm really looking forward to it. The class is maxed out. It's, of course, local with Parks and Recreation. And it's in-service day for the kids. So, of course, Mom and Dad, you know, they're working. They need babysitters. So I'm going to be their babysitter from 9 to 12. It's a 3-hour class. We are going to be working with the Kits collection. So we are going to be using the robot buddies. I guess robots are really big with kids, you know, middle school age or younger. So I think the youngest participant is 8 years old and the oldest is 12. So I've got a mix of ages, which is always nice. And if they finish early, I'm bringing some punches so they can make ladybugs, deer. I'm just going to have them create what they want to create and some extra cardstock so they can create cards on their own too. So I'm going to get those kids interested in stamping because I actually have scheduled 2 more, no, 3 more, I think, 3 or 4 more classes for in-service throughout the year. And the next one isn't until January, but I might do a pop-up card class over Thanksgiving and Christmas break. Thanksgiving, that one might be a little bit harder because I think the kids only get like a couple days off from school, but the Christmas vacation, that one's usually quite long. And then they have vacation in February, which is most likely the longest one. Because where I worked in a school system up north, that was always the longest one because we go all the way through town meeting day, which is like usually around the third. It's the first Saturday. Well, voting is the first Saturday in my town. No, it wasn't Saturday. We had town meeting on Saturday and voting was Tuesday. And kids would always have Monday and Tuesday off. So now in our state, the town clerks are mailing ballots to Vermonters. We have that choice. So we just got ours the other day and I still need to fill it out. So still sitting there, but I'll get my vote in before the deadline. So I like that. I don't know if you guys have that in your area or not, but I think it gets a lot more people out there voting. So we shall see. All right, so you can tell that I'm not anywhere near an excellent blender. I'm just taking kind of my time to try to stay inside those lines. I'm going to smooth it out with the brush tip. And my hand is getting really tired, of course. And then I double booked myself, you guys. So I have my class on Tuesday, right? And Tuesday was supposed to have been my hand appointment for carpal tunnel. So unfortunately, I had to call them yesterday and say, I really messed up and I double booked myself. I'm pretty sure what happened was I actually made the doctor's appointment and then we decided to add on the classes and I did not have that appointment in my appointment book. So, but needless to say, I just have to wait 2 more weeks to get in and I'm on a wait list. So hopefully I will get in sooner than that because this hand, I know I'm going to need to have surgery on it. I just don't know when. Because it hurt on Sunday when after I got home from hiking. We hiked almost 8 miles over in New Hampshire, which was really fun. It was such a beautiful day. It wasn't too cold. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too steep. We hiked Mount Kachora. So that's a 52 with a view. So it's under 4,000 feet. And, but it's over. This one was over, I think it was like maybe 36 or 3,800 feet. But it wasn't hard at all. It was like one of my, I think it's my easiest hike I've had this year. So it was nice to do an easy one. Okay, so now I'm going back because, you know, it's really not blended very well. So I'm going to try to blend it a little bit more with the brush tip. So I like to just go over it because I know the tips here are going to be lighter. Oops, I went outside the line. Darn it. So when I use the brush tip, you just want to touch it very lightly because what happens is if you press down too hard, and I tell my participants, if you push down too hard on that tip, it's going to break. And I probably have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I think I have 14 blends that this one's not looking too good either. That the tip, because they push down on it. So I'm not going to have them blend for a while because they have been warned plenty of times. And it's, you know, I usually have the same people and we have so much fun and I can kid around like that. I don't know if Denise is watching or not, but she was in my class too. So she knows what I'm talking about. So anyway, I'm working again with Bermuda Bay and like I mentioned before, I'm going to use a chisel point. I asked my participants in my class to think outside of the box. So no yellows or oranges, but I did have one person create a yellow sunflower, but we did have a lot of fun. All right, I'm getting there. I think I'm halfway done. I'll just try to go a little bit faster. I might have to take a break actually. And I still got to color the center. I'll have to think about what color I want that. If I want it a light green or soft suede, maybe crumb cake. I do like the browns, so, but we'll see. And I can actually take out my color coach. It's an old one, and it will tell me the colors that go with Bermuda Bay. So I might do that and see. Now, Stampin' Up! Does sell a color coach. It's in the supply. I'm not sure if customers can order it or just demonstrators. So I know it's in the supply, like department, I guess to call it. And if you want to know, just type in the search bar color coach. And if it doesn't come up for a customer, then it's just a demonstrator that can order it. So speaking of demonstrators, we are offering a huge signing up with Stampin' Up! And of course, Inspired Daisy's team, that's the name of my team. You can, and this is such a great deal, you guys. This is the second time they've offered this, where you can receive $155 of Stampin' Up! Product for $99. Okay, so that's $56 of free product that you get on top of what you have to purchase, which is $99. So if you've never paper crafted before, and you would like to, and you're in the market for products, it's really a no-brainer to sign up because there's no commitment. And I think that's what a lot of people, they're afraid of, that they have to commit. And you don't have to commit. You can purchase a starter kit, and then once your time is up, you don't have to meet a quarter. You can just stay as long as you want. You are your own boss. Everyone on my team, I have 14 plus myself from all over the United States. And I know some of you watching me tonight are on the Inspired Daisy's team. So give a shout out if you are watching and you're on the team. And maybe like why you joined. Maybe you could answer for us in the audience that's watching that maybe not be on a team and is interested. Okay, so I think if I keep going, it's going to get darker and darker. But I don't think I'm going to let that dry. Again, I used Bermuda Bay. And that's really super pretty. Now for the middle, let me grab my color coach. Like I said, this is a really old one. I've had this since I was like maybe 13 years. So what I did was, this is all of the cardstock that we have, and some of it's retired and some I don't have in here. So I kind of have mine in a rainbow order. So I'm going to find Bermuda Bay. Here it is. So for browns, for the center is what I want to do. Browns, they're saying crumb cake would work well. Soft seafoam, garden green, crushed curry could be the center. But I think I'm going to go with crumb cake just because took me a while to do that, and I really don't want to mess it up. I really wanted to try crushed curry, but maybe off camera another time I will do that. So let's grab crumb cake. I'm just going to find it here, hopefully. That's light. And I think that one's broken. Yes. Okay, so these are good. And there's dark and light, of course. So again, I'm going to start with the dark. Let me just make sure you have this dark crumb cake. Another color that would work would be your skin tones. A lot of those are browns and like flesh colors. So that is another brown you could use. All right, so let's just keep going here. I'm going around the outside because that is where I want it to be dark. And then I'm going to go in here because that's really dark too, and just kind of scribble back and forth. Then when you cap this, make sure you go like this. Don't like bend it because that's another way you can break your tip. And I'm going to use the brush tip on this one. And when I use it, I put it sideways. So I don't go down straight like that. It's actually at an angle because that's works well for me. Okay, just gonna make sure I get all that white colored in and go over it a little bit more. Okay, I think that's the color I want. Now, like I said, I put Wink Stella on it. I'm going to do that last just because this is still drying and I don't want to kind of ruin it. So you can see this is why I had scrap paper underneath this, because your blends will go all the way through your basic white cardstock, or any cardstock for that matter. Okay, so now we're going to work with assembling the card. I'll go over these sizes once again. This is your thick basic white. This was on low inventory today. So if you need your thick white, make sure you order it. And make sure you use my host code too. And I'll go over that again a little bit later. So, and then here's your basic white, which is embossed with the Painted Textures embossing folder. And it's 4 1/4 by 3. So it's going to line up edge to edge. Okay, and then I want it at the top edge as well. We also want this to be bumped up with your Stampin' Dimensionals. So let me grab those. And since this is kind of a panel that's going to take a lot of that weight, I'm going to put them on all 4 corners and then on the sides here and then in the middle. So we have 8 on there. So I'm going to just press those down solidly. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool like I always do to remove the backings. It makes it super easy. And I don't have to use my fingertips, which are painful right now. So this tool has actually saved me. And look, they're all together, so you can just throw them in your container and they don't go on the floor, which, you know, I find them at work even sometimes. Okay, so make sure your card base is opening up correctly. And then you're going to add this right, I'm going to have to pull it closer to me. So it's going to come on the edge. So the left, the top, and the right edges are what you want to line it up with. So I'm looking at the top left corner. Then I'm looking down here. Then it all should line up fairly easy. Okay. Now we're going to add the sunflower. And there is I think there's kind of a right and a wrong way for this sunflower. So all you have to do, I just kind of turn it around until I think it's correct. Like that looks, see all the petals here? I think that, like, let me show you this one. See how it's a little bit different? I think this goes on the right side, and I did color the purple one too, and I put it over here. So I really think this is the corner that needs to be towards the bottom. So I need to get this panel level with this one here, but I also need to put underneath half of it adhesive. So we're going to flip this over. And we're going to pretend it's like this, okay? And you need to have your dimensionals go here, 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 and here, and probably one right there. If you put it up any higher, then it's going to be not at the same height as this panel we just put on there. So you're going to grab your dimensionals, and we're going to put one in that corner and this corner. And when you're adding these, make sure you don't put them right on the edge, because you will see those, and nobody wants to see dimensionals. Believe me, they want to see your work. Okay, so this is about where it's going to go. So I'm going to put one right here, and that's right going to be on the edge of that one. So if I need to add any more, I can still slide them up under there. Okay, so we got those backings off. And I like to use my Stampin' Seal on white. And I've actually been using Seal Plus lately, just because I wanted to use it a little bit more. And it's super sticky as well. It's more sticky than the Seal. Okay, so I'm going to add this right here. So what I'm looking at is the top border, meaning between this and the embossed panel, and the left and the right, and everything is all the same width. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it is what I'm doing. And now this is level. I don't know if you can see this or not. This part here is level with this one. So now they're all on the same height. Okay. Now we're going to stamp. I probably should have done this first because if I mess up, then I mess up. All right, so I'm going to use again the Memento Black because it's out here, and black works with this too. I'm going to just stamp thanks a bunch in the bottom there in the center, and I did a pretty good job, so I did not ruin this. Okay, then I'm going to add the Stampin', or not the Stampin' Seal, the Wink of Stella. But first, I need to, since I have that stamp out, let's stamp the envelope. And I'm going to just stamp that in Memento Black again. So everything is matching. Okay, so there we go, is our envelope. That's all ready to go. And now let's bring the Wink of Stella in. This is a brand new one. So when I have a brand new one, I make sure I test the brush, because sometimes you have too much of the Wink of Stella in the barrel here. And I don't know if it's ever happened to you. You get a huge blob on your card and it just kind of ruins it. So this is what I do. I just make sure it's not like too much. And then I'm going to do brush strokes. I'm not going to color in all the petals. I'm just brush stroking it out towards the edge. Make sure there's a little bit more in there. And just keep brush stroking it towards the edge. And I'm trying to hit those lines, if you say, we'll say, like, not more like where it's open there, but I'm trying to brush it towards those lines. And I'm kind of rotating the card with my left hand and a little bit with my pinky on this side here. So just keep rotating it. Okay, so I think we're almost done there. Let me just make sure. I got 2 more petals over here, so let's get those in. Okay, so now, since this is all kind of glittery, I'm going to just go back and forth in the middle. And let me just make sure that's, yep, that's pretty good. I don't want it heavy with Wink of Stella. I just want it to be a subtle look. I think too much Wink of Stella for me is just, it's overkill. So I always suggest just put a little bit, because a little bit will go a long way. So, all right, so let's see what I've got here for colors. So that's Bermuda Bay, and that was Highland Heather. And then I'm pretty sure this was Poppy Parade, but I'm not 100% sure. I made this one like 2 weeks ago. So, and you can see that the centers on all of these here, this is soft suede with some pale papaya in it. I mixed those colors. And then, again, this is Crumb Cake. And then this was Old Olive. And I think I used just the light, and then I put a hint of Crumb Cake on it. So you can kind of see all centers are different. Okay, I hope you can see. Okay, so let me run through the, if there's any questions while you guys are looking at these or getting a drink or a snack. Well, you can do that while I check. So, let's see. Louise, you had internet issues all day. Yeah, I did even at work too, so I'm not sure what is going on. Lynn, I know I'm brave, and Debbie Franklin's going to help. So I don't know. We'll tell you about it, because on Tuesday, when we do the team update, or when I do the team update at that night, so we'll let you know if we're like really frazzled. You'll know. You'll see us. But I think what their kids are going to do great. They're going to love it. And I think I picked a good kit, and I didn't have to do any prep work, which is even better. So, oh yeah, Lynn, that's right. You did say that you had surgery on it and it was good. So, oh, Carla, you had your hands done 28 years ago, not at the same time. Yeah, my left one is like 95% good, so I'm not gonna have them touch my left hand, but my right hand's the dominant one, so I have no idea how I'm gonna make cards, but we'll try to figure it out. Okay, so that is our first card we're making or made tonight. I'm gonna stack these up with the envelopes, and then I'm gonna move on to the next card. I'll probably do the easier one first, and then finish with a little bit more. It's not really difficult. These are not difficult cards. I like to make cards that are easy to assemble and to teach more of a beginner than somebody that is maybe more advanced and avid stamper versus just a, you know, I'm very simple. I don't like to do lots of coloring. You guys know that. I just like to make simple cards. As you can see here, this is very simple. I did use retired ribbon there. That's actually gumball green. If you can, if you want to know what that color is, I didn't have anything that would work because we had old olive, but I didn't have any of that left. So I just, you know what, it's Stampin' Up, so it's all good. You can see the products, and this was like a long time ago, so you can see how it works really nicely with old olive. Okay, so let's see where the kit is here. All right, it's this one. And I'm making a different one. I'm using different colors for this card here, so you can kind of get a look. I'm using the Wash and Beauty Designer Series paper, and that's what this is too. All right, so let's see. There, it's stuck in there. Hopefully I got everything out of there. Let me just double check. Okay, so we've got our basic white envelope. This is actually scrap. I think it's a scrap one. Yeah, it's the smallest scrap I had of old olive. I'm using rich raspberry or so saffron. I'm not sure, so I want to see what they look like. And here's the Designer Series paper, the Wash and Beauty. This is 3x4, so easy. Here's a panel of Sahara sand. Sahara sand's like, it's gray, but it's got a hint of brown in it. So it's kind of between crumb cake and smoky slate, I would say, and maybe some gray granite. I did pre-emboss this with the pretty flowers. Love that embossing folder. That one did carry over from the annual last year. And then here's my 4x5¼ panel for the inside. And then here's my old olive, and we are working with 5.5 by 8.5, and I've already scored it with my trimmer, Stampin' trimmer, and let me just burnish it with my bone folder here. And again, I like to go both ways. It's going to be a horizontal card. Like I said, this one's super easy, so I think I might have to cut some paper. I'm not quite sure yet. Okay, so Sahara sand, that's just going to go right down on the old olive. So I'm going to grab my liquid glue because we're working with embossed panels, and I do like to use liquid glue with embossed panels. I feel like it's easier. And the glue gets down in those little like grooves and such. So you can put... So this is the embossed side, and then this is the debossed side. I don't know if you know those terms or not, but sometimes the debossed side looks just as nice as the embossed. So, and again, this is the embossed side. And let's just grab that. And that's just going to get layered on here. Now, this is the one I'm not sure about what panel I want to use underneath. So how I do that is I just kind of place it here and to see if I'm going to like So Saffron, or am I going to like Rich Raspberry. I ran out of the Mary Merlot, which is, that's the color. I really have no, all I have left is strips. So I think I ordered it and it's in my box. But that's the closest color I had. I don't know. I think, let me look one more time. I'm going to go with the Rich Raspberry. I kind of like that better because there's more pink in it, and that's why. And there's just a small little flower over there with the so saffron. So let me just grab my glue here, and we'll run it all the way around here. And this is, again, 3x4 with a Wash and Beauty. And I'm adhering it to 4¼ by 3¼ So I usually work with 1/8 of an inch, but tonight I'm working with 1/4 inch. Okay, so I'm just going to rub that from the back side. This does get popped up, so we're going to grab our dimensionals, and I will add 5 of those. Okay, and I'll make sure that those are pressed down good. And then let me grab my, take your pick, and we'll just grab those right off. See how easy that is, and quick and easy? They're all stacked up, and I'm just going to put them in my trash bucket. Okay, so now we're going to figure out what ribbon. I actually did not even grab any ribbons, so thankfully my ribbon is like right next to me. So let me figure out what ribbon I want. So what I do is, when I don't know what ribbon I want, I take this and I go over to my ribbon and I kind of just line it or just bring it across and try to figure out what color I want. The go-to always is the glittered organdy ribbon. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Just because it is a very, like, it goes with anything. And I have lots of little pieces left from the class I'm sending out tonight. So I want to kind of use it up because I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spools with maybe just maybe a foot or 2 feet on it. Okay, so let's bring this in, make sure it is opening up correctly, which it is. And so I like to put my ribbon on the back here first, make sure it's flat. Okay, and that way we can still move it. Oh gosh, this is really hard. Can't grip. This is like such a bummer. Okay, hold on. I might have to do something different. Yeah, there we go. I have to pinch it down here with my left hand. And let me get this straight on my grid paper. And then we're going to, I might do this one different. Instead of center, I am going to move this right over and make it more on the left side. Okay, I think that's good. Let me just make sure I can move that ribbon back and forth still. Yep, okay, it's not stuck on the dimensionals, which is what I was checking. So I can't do bows anymore right now, so we're just going to do a knot. So I like to keep the ribbon on the spool. That way I'm not wasting extra ribbon. So I'm just going to, oh, that's my middle finger. That hurts. Ugh. I'm not whining. I'm not crying. Okay, there we go. It's good enough. Let's grab my ribbon scissors here, and I want the tails a little bit long. So we're gonna cut them about that length. Now, if you don't want that moving around like that, you can put a glue dot underneath, and I'll show you how to do that. You'll need your take your pick tool or some kind of piercing tool, and you'll take your glue dots and you'd grab one here. You can use your fingers too, but I find that the piercing tool, the edge works really nicely. You can push this right on the tip of it and make a little ball. And then you can just pick up the ribbon with your left hand, as I'm right-handed. And then I'm going to press down on that knot, and then there's none on here. Now it's underneath that knot. So now that ribbon won't go. It's going to stay put. The punch. So lasting label punch is a really nice punch that I have been using quite a bit. So I just punched out some old olive, and then the circle. You can use layering circles on here. However, I have Stampin' Up! Circle punches, and I find that it is a little bit easier to mass produce with the punches. So let me go grab my 1.5 inch circle punch. Let's see. 1.5. Okay. And I gotta get some white. Okay. I like to punch. A lot of times I like to punch my circles out first, or you can stamp it on here and then punch it out. Again, we're going to use a different stamp set this time. We are using Peaceful Moments, and Peaceful Moments, let me grab it. Where did it go? Oh, I know where it is. It's behind me. Okay, so Peaceful Moments I've had, and this is another carryover with the annual catalog. I like that they do carry over stamp sets, and this is kind of a go-to stamp set for me. I have used it quite a bit. As you can see, it's just like very loved. It's got it has stamps on it that you will use 12 months of the year, which I really like. So I'm going to make this, did it have a small thank you? No, it's not going to fit. So birthday. We'll do a birthday card because I actually need more birthday cards. Okay, then we're going to grab a block. And I will grab, let me just take this one here. It's like overkill, but that's okay. Now the ink color, do I want Rich Raspberry or do I want Old Olive? It's basically, this is what it's going to look like. I think the pop of the, I did pull Mary Merlot because it is darker. I'm going to try, here we go, I'm going to experiment. So I'm going to just, I stamped that with Mary Merlot. Let me grab my Stampin' Scrub. And I'm going to clean that, and I'm going to stamp a different one in Old Olive. So let me grab this. I like to experiment so we can kind of see different, right? Sometimes what you start with is something that you don't end with. So we'll see what I end with. Now this will match the punched shape and also the card base. And of course the green in there as well. So let me grab my punch. We'll punch out the happy birthday. And now this is going to have dimensionals on it. So let's get that. So we have the real shape. So we're going to get this, give it some height. I won't take the backings off yet because I wanted to figure out what sentiment, what color I'm going to use. So we will grab this, and it's kind of probably go, it's covering up that little flower there, but I might, let's see what it looks like up high. So here's the Mary Merlot. And let's see, let's check the green here, Old Olive. I think I like the Old Olive. Let me just see. Yeah, I think because it's darker, and that's why I like it. This ink pad must be a little bit juicier than the Mary Merlot. In it, the Happy Birthday actually stands out a little bit more, so that's another reason why I selected the green. So let's grab my Stampin' Seal Plus, and we'll just add some adhesive on the back side of the circle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these backings off. Normally I wouldn't have them on, but I wanted to show you how I kind of design. So I don't know where I want to put this. I think it looks actually better if it was right here in the middle. We'll see. I didn't put it down solid, so I think I probably lost that little butterfly is my guess. Because it is so small and there's no way let me just go check. I think it could be over here. I know I die cut it, you guys. I might be able to die cut another one really quick. It'll be, yeah, I'll just do it really quick. And then I'll probably find it. And yes, I have an electric or die cutting machine because I do so much that I need one. So this is kind of cool because this is the smaller one that's in the butterflies, the dies here. And then this is a little bit larger so we can kind of see two different sizes. Now you can either pop this one up to give it dimension or just leave it right on the circle like this one is. I did not add anything underneath the butterfly. So let's keep them the same. You can use glue dots or you can use liquid glue. Since I have my liquid glue right here, we're just going to use the liquid glue. And then I'm going to put it over here. Let's fill in that gap. Okay, and then is there I'm going to take out, I want to stamp on the inside because I don't have the designer series paper and I want to put something on the inside. I just don't want this plain yucky, like not yucky, but it doesn't have anything on it, right? Let me tell you. Would you like a card like this with all white, or would you like something that has something on the inside, right? You got to do something. So let me grab another block and we will, let's see if this one will fit. Yeah. And I'm going to use Old Olive ink. And this sticker here is not on here correct, so I can't remember what angle I'm supposed to put it at, but it looks like I did an okay job. This is like really super juicy. Let me grab the envelope and I'm just going to stamp down on the bottom corner here. We'll close this up. Again, this is really juicy. I will take my Seal Plus and just add 1/2 inch tick marks on each corner and a little bit in the middle. That's really all you need. Our adhesive is so strong that you can get away with just, I mean, like really, that was 2.5 inches of adhesive and that's it. Okay. We do need to embellish it because we still need to do that. As you can see, I did use some of they are called the Flowers adhesive back trinkets. They come in silver and they come in gold. And this one I received was kind of a hot mess, but they're fine. But in shipping, they did not make it very, like, to Vermont very well. So I'm going to use silver because I used the gold in the other one. So let's give this one some silver. I think these are kind of fun. They're different. And they are a little bit high, but if you put cardstock, like a lot of times you can get away with, put that right there. You can get away with your postage and send it normal rate if you just put a layer of cardstock in the envelope, which I do all the time. Okay, so there you go. I think we've got this card completed. So we've got your envelope here, and happy birthday. Let's celebrate you. And then here's this one, happy birthday. And there's the designer series paper. So you can kind of see the difference. You could do both. You could have added some paper down here and stamp, or you could just leave it as is. So that was a simple card. We made this one in Parks and Rec class. So I really like it. It's very simple and it's quick and easy. The 3x4 panel here with the Designer Series paper maximizes your 12x12. So you can get a ton of those and makes a really cute card. So we will move on to the next one. Let me just clean up my area here. And I'm going to close this ink pad. And we are bringing in a lot of different things here. Okay, the card that we are making is, let's see, where did it go? I am going to take 20 seconds to clean up my area and put a few things away. So I can, there it is. See, I knew I'd find it. Here it is. So here's the card we made in Parks and Recreation class, our third card. We actually made 4. The 4th card was the shaving cream technique. I don't know if how many of you have done that before, but that was the first time I ever did the shaving cream technique, and it makes marbled paper. I wish I had mine. I will, if, let me just see, I might have it. I had it around someplace, but of course on my desk. On Monday, if I find it, I'll show it to you guys on my Facebook page. Okay, so there's lots of little pieces to this one. And what I wanted to do is I'm trying to teach myself to not use really large pieces of the Designer Series paper. I like to use, I'm trying to use up my scraps better, so I'm trying to teaching myself to use scraps. And you can see I use 3 different pieces out of the same pattern paper, which is the Wash and Beauty. And then just cut them different sizes and then kind of just layered them on and added a nice little focal point on the front. And on the inside, I just stamped there. I used the Happiness Abound stamp set because all of these in here are, they're long and skinny. So they go nicely on a 1/2 inch piece of, and this is Old Olive. So I chose that one because it's just, it's very skinny and it works nicely. So that's what we're going to be using today. And I'm going to make a 3rd birthday card. So you can see this is really loved. It is so, I've used it so much. Okay, this one is, I think it's, yep, it's Happy Birthday. So we want that one. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to grab this little bouquet of flowers. And I'll use that one to stamp on the inside. So let's grab some blocks here. I've got a B block, which is a nice size for small stamps like this. And then on this one, we need the D block. So let me take off Let's Celebrate You, put that aside. And then with the photopolymer, make sure you have your stamp on your paper, your work surface. And of course, you guys know I put it on diagonally so that my eyes don't focus on the straightness of the block. It's focusing on the straightness of the sentiment. Okay, so stamping. We need our envelope, of course, and I'm using a different color, green. I'm using Pear Pizzazz today, and I'm going to be using Old Olive as a darker green. Let's grab my piercing mat because we're working with the photopolymer stamps and we need a cushion underneath because it doesn't have that red rubber, right? So we'll stamp here first. And again, I'm just going to stamp Happy Birthday with the Old Olive. Make sure it's not upside down. And I'm just going to stamp over here in the corner. See that? It's very... it's narrow, long, and makes stamps really nicely on strips of paper like this. Again, this is a scrap. This is, it's a 1/2 inch, and I just kind of left it long because I'm going to trim it down. So let's stamp that right in the middle, and that gives me enough room where I can cut it down on both sides. And then on the inside, Let's see what I did on this one. I just stamped the little flower. That's right. I'm going to stamp, oh, what color? I'm going to stamp in green. Or I can stamp in, I'm going to stamp in Memento Black and color it in maybe. That's what I'm going to try to do. And if it doesn't work, I can flip it over and do something else. Isn't that really cute? Like, so cute, right? Again, this is, what is it? What is it called again? I'll find it. Oh, you guys, did you guys purchase the limited edition stamp set? So this is your Angel Policy stamp set. And so if you sell your cards, you need to have the Stampin' Right or Stampin' Up logo, copyright logo on the back. So this is a great stamp set to use for that. And the one that I'm using the most now is Made with Love, and then it's got the Stampin' Up on it. And also you can create cards just like this with a paper hug from me or just for you, hand stamped, and you could mask that out for your focal point. So very versatile stamp set, of course. All right, so that was Happiness Abounds that I stamped with. I'm just gonna lightly color this in with some markers that I have over here. I will use, I don't know. It's not the green, but I'm just gonna, it's not gonna matter. I know I need to use Stays On ink with markers here, but it's over on my ink pad holder. So I'm just gonna be really light pressure, and that way I can, I won't get like, make a mess. So let's just fill this one in. This is a Sweet Sorbet. So these are the in colors. I just happen to have those on my desk here. So I'll make 2 of these Sweet Sorbet, and I'm just kind of tapping because it's so tiny, the petals. And then let's grab Orchid Oasis, since it's right here. This may not match my DSP, but you know, I don't really care. It'll work. I'm gonna color that center something else. Let's do, we'll color these. This one up here, Orchid Oasis as well. And then the center will be green. Oh, that's really dark. I want, maybe let's do the Parakeet Party. This is super bright. It's like fluorescent. And then Tahitian Tide. Let's make a little blue flower down here. And then I'm going to take the Parakeet Party. And I'll bring this closer so you can kind of see. All right, so that's what it kind of looks like. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's really cute little flower down there. All right, now it's just a bunch of assembling here. Let me get that out of the way. Again, this is a thick white, and I grabbed one that has kind of like, doesn't look very good. I didn't cut that one very good, so hold on. I must have another one. I love that my paper's like right here. Oh yes, I got a better one. Okay, so we're gonna crease that and burnish it with our bone folder. And then we're gonna do all that layering. Okay, so this is just the opposite side of that pattern. Here I wanted a dark image on the bottom. First, actually, we need to add a layer of the white because we're going tone on this one. So we're going to work with the panel first, and then we're going to pop it up with dimensionals. I like that this is in the middle, so we'll go with that. So I've got my dark layer on the bottom, and this is kind of like a scrap card. Find ways that you can maximize your paper and make sure you use it all, because this strip costs you money, right? It came from that 12 by 12. So that, again, that was 1 by 5. And then I've got 2 other panels. And let me give you the size. This is 1.5 by 4. And then this one, this scrap here, is 2.5 by 3.5. So the next layer that's going to go down is this one here. You could do that side too. Let's see what this would look like. See, that kind of looks a little too boring, right? So definitely want this one over here and this one, those two, like that's how it's going to look. So always check your paper sides and just make sure that one might look a little bit better than the other one, and it might be the one that you did not select in the beginning. So just work with your paper. This one I'm just going to slap right on here and just make sure it's straight here. And then this one, let's put some more glue on this panel here. And this is directional, so I want to make sure I put it on here correctly. Okay, so that's good. The next thing we want to do is I've got a piece of the vellum, and this is with our stylish shapes, the circles. And I did pop this one up, so it's going to go in the middle, and you don't want to put your dimensionals any farther, because if you put them on the edge, you're going to see them. So let me show you what I mean by that. So we'll make a triangle with them. So we're going to put one here, here, and here. So it's very like, let me get my take your pick here. So there's about 1/2 inch on the outside of those dimensionals. And I know they're going to be covered up by the white. Okay, so see this? We don't want those dimensionals, so if you put them on the edge, then you would definitely see them. I'm centering this amongst the green panel that's on the bottom. Then we've got, this is kind of cool because I had a scrap of gingham, a panel of that, embossed, so in my scrap bin. So I just cut it out with a layering circle, and I think it's going to look really good with some kind of texture on there. So that's what I chose. Again, this is going to get some dimensionals too. Let's just give this like card a lot of height. And there we go. Let's see. Just to see, I just love to have dimension on my cards. I think it's really, really good with the gingham. This will get just centered on here. Okay, so you can, let me bring it up to the camera. So the vellum is right here, and that kind of just tones down the underneath the paper there, and then you can hopefully see the gingham. Next is that butterfly. I die cut this one in, this one was cut in Mary Merlot because I had a scrap this small. So I'm just taking the glue and I'm adding it little dots to the spots that have more cardstock than the others. So just little taps. Okay, then this gets centered right on that circle. I love this butterfly, so cute. Then here's that strip that we're going to cut down. And I like how the happy birthday is, it's basically the same width as that vellum circle. And I'm just going to take my paper snips and my scissors and then just cut a straight, Actually, I'm going to do an angle cut instead. So let me grab my paper snips. And the other one has straight. I'm going to angle cut this one. And this way too, same direction. This is going to go here. You could pop it up, or you can just adhere it right straight down on that butterfly. Since I've already got a few layers of dimensionals, I'm just going to add my glue to the back side of that sentiment and just add it to the butterfly. And I want a little bit of the body showing on the bottom there. Then we'll flip it over and let's add some more dimensionals to this side here. You can layer it right down on the card if you'd rather do that. I'm just going full blown dimensionals tonight. I'm sporting this take your pick tool. Definitely need one in your craft room, you guys. If you don't have one, make sure you get one ordered. Okay, so the card base is here. And this is just going to go tone on tone. Okay, and then I think I will, let's see. I do have the iridescent pearls, so I will grab those to add to the butterfly. So they have, I think they come in, looks like just, if I remember correctly, just 2 different sizes. So I'm going to add, oh, that's too big. Let's just grab this one here. And I'm using the putty side now. Did you guys see that? I switched. So 2 there, and then I'll grab one of the bigger ones here, and I'm going to put one up there in that white space, another big one down here, and I'm going to grab a smaller one here and make that triangle here. Let's put it there. So here's my triangle, boom, boom, and boom. That makes a kind of a triangle there. You can splatter your card with the Wink of Stella if you would like to do that. If you don't know how to do that, let me show you. I do like it as an added touch. So I know I've got some of that Wink of Stella in the barrel, and all I'm going to do is tap. And it's splattering a little bit of that glitter on the front of the card. And then there you go. That's all set. The last, I know it doesn't match right, but I don't care. We're going to take our seal. And I'm going to add this just to give it a little bit more support. All right. So there's your card. Let me clean up this area here and just be able to get these 2 out. You can see I use the same pattern, a little bit lighter green, and that's really all I did, except for on the inside here. I did stamp that little rose on the inside here. I stamped and colored on the bottom, and that was 4 by 5 1/4, and added it to the inside. So that is your card class for today. I used a ton of stamp sets. Happiness Abounds, Celebrate Sunflowers, Peaceful Moments, and lots of kind of standard ink colors. Your Mary Merlot Memento Black and your Old Olive. To use some blends, some markers, a punch, embossing folders, so you could get to see a lot of different products tonight. So don't forget, if you're interested in joining, even for like 4 to 5 months, you know, order that starter kit, and it's $99 plus tax if you have tax in your area, and you will receive $155 worth of Stampin' Up! Products. That's $56 extra. And our team, what our team is about is we have 14 of us throughout the United States. And we have our team plus myself, so there's 15 of us. We have a Facebook page. a group page that's just dedicated to our Inspired Daisies team of stampers. And some of you guys are on here right now, so hopefully that you guys can comment. I didn't check if there was any questions, so let me just kind of, how do you get your stamping without coloring, skipping, or how do you get your stamping without color skipping or pooling ink? Does that mean stamping, Lynn, or coloring with blends or the Stampin' Right markers? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Use your reverse tweezers to hold the beginning of your knot instead of your finger. Yeah, I could have done that, but I totally could have done that, but I endured the pain, Lynn. All right, so Rainbow, her nail polish matches her project at hand. That was, this nail polish is 3 weeks old and it needs to come off. Look at this, like really bad. I try to disguise that one. But yes, it does. It does match really nicely. Thank you. Okay. All right, Kathy's on here too. Don't worry, Kathy. You can watch it again. All right, so I think that's all I've got for you. Don't forget about all those things that are happening with Stampin' Up. It's been a busy week. I can't keep up with it all. I will showcase the birthday book because I have that in my craft room now, and I'm going to clean up. You should see my craft room. It's such a chaotic mess with that order that I got in, and I got shipments to go out tonight. So I am going to get my second wind, and I'm going to go have some apple crisp because I made some last night. It's so good. And see, I do other things than craft. And then I will see you guys on Monday. Facebook page Inspired by Graham. So I thank you for watching me create these 3 cards. If you have any questions regarding any of the products I used tonight, you can give me a shout at inspiredbygraham@gmail.com. If you'd like to join the Inspired Daisies team, I will have the link in the description box and all of my social media links as well. So you guys have a great weekend. I'll be traveling up north to see my parents tomorrow. And then this weekend's going to be cool. Might go hike, but I got to work on my retreat. So I got lots to do, but I also want to take some time for myself too. So you guys have a great evening, and I'll catch you later.